Medical malpractice laws can be very complex and intimidating. So what actually goes on behind the scenes? Our next guest is here to break it down for us from a legal perspective. It's founder, partner, and attorney at Bland Richter, Ronnie Richter. Ronnie, welcome back.
Thanks.
We've talked a little bit before about medical malpractice. First of all, what is it? And this kind of gets confused with some other things.
Yeah, it's best to start with what it's not.
Yeah.
You know, every time we get a call about a medical malpractice case, something bad has happened. So it's never that something bad that's happened. It's how did it happen? The law would recognize that the practice of medicine is very complicated, and the law doesn't expect of physicians a standard of perfection. And so we accept in the law that even if you're trying your very best, and even if you're looking out for the safety of the patients, even in trying your very best, sometimes things can happen that are not malpractice. So what we expect of doctors is that they exercise the same degree of care, skill, and learning that you would expect of a competent doctor. Mm-hmm. And if they do that and something bad happens, that's not malpractice. So when we get these calls about these cases, what we're looking for is not what happened, but why did it happen? Mm-hmm. And occasionally, rarely, it happened because a physician failed to do that which reasonable doctors would have done under the same circumstance, mm-hmm. and that's malpractice.
How do you go about investigating this?
It's critical, first and foremost, that you have all of the records. As important, you have to have a highly qualified medical expert to review those records for you. We're lawyers. Now, I've been reading medical charts for 30 years. I'm a pretty decent hack, but I'm not a doctor. Mm-hmm. And so when I review a chart, I'm looking for the things that would say to me that something unusual, something extraordinary happened to elevate it to that next level of review. But I'm counting on my medical experts to tell me that this is something that should not have happened with proper care versus even if you try your very best, this is a complication that can happen. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this is it's a very hard topic because you're dealing with, serious health problems going mm-hmm. on. What should they do? How do they know it's time to call you?
Yeah, time is critical in these cases. So, as soon as you suspect that the outcome that you received was not what it should have been, mm-hmm. you really should be contacting a lawyer. And I hate to say that, okay, because I am very sensitive to the doctor's perception mm-hmm. that we shark lawyers are feeding on those fish doctors. And I would say to the medical profession that when it's done properly by folks who know what they're doing, that's not what it looks like. We will receive 100 calls, maybe more, before we accept the first case. Mm. And it's not that bad things didn't happen. It's not that they're very sympathetic circumstances. We're receiving people who are injured, compromised. Mm-hmm. All right, we're trying, mm-hmm. okay, but you have to be respectful of the law, and you can't make these cases up. I mean, they either exist and they're there to be developed, or they don't.
How do you determine liability in this?
Yeah, liability is the central issue. So again, if it's just that something bad happened, not to dismiss that because terrible things can happen in the process of providing medical care, but it has to be a clear error that other competent doctors would not have committed that resulted in a significant injury mm-hmm. to the patient. Mm-hmm. That's the criteria.
Like you said, you get a lot of calls about this. A lot of calls. If people at home are dealing with this or know somebody who's dealing with this, where can they contact you?
Yeah, please contact us at blandrichter.com.
Perfect. Ronnie, thank you so much. Yeah.